Today I want to talk about something I've been doing for about the last 2 months or so, and that is eating very little sugar and very little processed food. For at least 7 years, I've been drinking only water. And back when I started drinking only water, I had also gotten off of sugar and processed food. But after a while, I fell off the wagon and started eating it again, even though I was able to maintain the drinking only water thing. I know that videos like this aren't going to be effective until the listener is ready to do what I'm talking about. It's kind of like nagging a smoker who's not ready to stop smoking. But I do want to share my experiences, and hopefully it will inspire some of you out there to at least take a step in the direction of living a healthier life. Going from drinking other drinks to just drinking water was an easy transition for me. I don't know if that's just me or if it's something that's possible for everybody. Let me just clarify. Sometimes I will taste something that's not water, or sometimes my throat is dry and I'll take a sip of something just to wet my throat, but I don't drink whole glasses of anything that's not water. Except for a sip here or there, I don't cheat and I don't have any cravings for any drink that's not water. Now, this may sound impossible to some of you, but one thing I've found is that whether you're trying to start drinking only water or whether you're getting off processed food and processed sugar, the best thing to do is to go cold turkey. Don't try to step your intake down or say, I'm just going to have one drink a day. That's just going to torture you and make things harder because the sugar and the processed food is not getting out of your system. At least for me, once I get something out of my system, I stop craving it. I've gone weeks and even months without eating processed sugar, but then I'll be at a party and I'll be like, oh, I'll just have one cookie or I'll just have one piece of cake. And then the sugar gets back in my system and I start craving it again. Now, I haven't done any research on this. I'm just telling you what happens with me. Usually, if I get off of something for about 3 days, my body starts to reset. And the cravings stop, especially if I'm eating balanced meals. So, in my opinion, the best thing to do is just stop with the other drinks, stop with the processed sugar, and stop with the processed food. It'll be tough for those first 3 days, maybe even a week, because it's not out of your system yet. And I'm not saying it's going to be completely out of your system, but it'll be out enough to where you don't crave it. Here's the problem for people who aren't used to eating healthy food. They don't necessarily like the taste of healthy food. Well, that's because you're still eating the unhealthy food. Let me give you an example. If you ate something really sweet like a Snickers bar, and then right behind that you ate like a piece of bread with some jelly on it, that jelly's probably not going to taste very sweet because you just ate something that was a lot sweeter. It's the same thing with fruit. Once you get off of processed sugar, apples and bananas and oranges, they will taste so sweet. An apple is like dessert for me now. I don't even want cake because I know if I eat cake, my blood sugar is going to surge and then crash, and I hate that feeling. One thing I've noticed about black people is that even black people who don't eat a whole lot of vegetables, a lot of them still eat greens. Collard greens, mustard greens, stuff like that. So if you can stomach greens, that can be the vegetable that you eat while you clear the processed stuff out of your system. Some of you may also like squash and green beans. Eat those as well. Anything that comes from the earth that's not processed. And try not to doctor them up too much to where they're not healthy anymore. So once you start eating the vegetables that are palatable to you and the processed stuff starts to get out of your system, you will start to feel better. At that point, start trying other vegetables like broccoli, like spinach, like kale. When you eat those things, they will also make you feel good, and then eventually you will start to associate that good feeling with the taste of the food. Eating a certain food isn't just about the taste of that food, it's also about how it makes you feel. Back when I started drinking only water, I was also on this eating style which had me eating like 3 meals and then 2 snacks a day. Well, for one of the snacks, it told me to eat a cup of almonds. So I went and bought some almonds and I poured out a cup of them, popped one in my mouth, and gagged. I was not used to eating plain raw almonds, so it made me gag. But I stuck with it, and at first I just ate a few of them, as many as I could eat without making me gag, and eventually my taste changed because the almonds made me feel good after I ate them. It made me feel full and satisfied. And just a side note, those were raw almonds, not roasted. Whenever you eat nuts, try to eat them in their raw form. Roasted nuts are not much better than potato chips. Alright, so basically that's all I wanted to say. You might want to do some research on what kind of eating style would be best for you and your body type and whatever medical issues you have going on. But as far as getting off of processed food, processed sugar, and drinking just water, if you go cold turkey and stick it out for those first 3 days and get over that hump, you should start to lose cravings and your taste buds should start to reset. And once you're off of it, be very careful about having that one little cookie or that one little drink, because that one little thing can get you right back into it and get you right back into the cravings. But like I said, once you get over that hump, you will start to feel better, and hopefully your body will start to associate that good feeling with the taste of the healthy food that you're eating. Or at least that's how it was for me. Now, I know a lot of you out there aren't ready to do this, but when you are ready, try doing what I said in this video and let me know how it works.